Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zach Nolan. Carter Nolan is right over there. Why did I immediately break into that? But yeah, he's right there.
Yeah.
Say
He
hi,
is.
Carter.
Yeah.
What a shocker.
Jake.
A co-host
Yeah,
is here
he-
on the
yeah.
podcast.
Holy shit, he actually showed up.
Wow!
Oh my goodness. And we are hosting my
Let him
friend
go.
Tanner from BSU.
Tanner
One of the
Glass,
hosts of
absolute
the-
legend, Winnipeg Jet alumni, fantastic player.
Let him say the rest.
One of the hosts of the Common Sports podcast and also runs the YouTube Illogical Canadian. So give
Oh,
that
wow.
a subscribe. Yeah.
Well, first try.
Yeah.
First-
I know. I know.
Okay, all right. So,
Good God.
fuck. You guys don't know. For all of you, I don't know if it's gonna the blooper reel will be making it into this for you guys. But all I'm gonna say is, if it does, you are in for a treat. Someone will
There's
be
like
posting
5
it.
minutes
It'll
of
be
just
coming on.
nothing.
Less than
of
that. That's why it's better.
absolute
It's only like 2 minutes. All of that happened in the span of 2
shenanigans.
minutes.
Shenanigans is the word.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Tanner. I gotta ask you because I was trying to get this question out of you before we lagged out. I don't know what teams that you root for, so unleash hell upon us. Are you a fan of the Leafs? Are you a fan of Boston? What are you a fan of? Let's hear it right now.
Okay, I'll say this. I reside in Boston, but I root for the Leafs because that is where I'm from. That's where I was born. I cheer for the Leafs, Argos, Raptors, obviously Jays.
I like this man. Except that Toronto is a horrible city and I despise all their sports teams. But other than that, welcome to the show. Glad to know what teams you root for now, what we can talk about.
He's
So,
itching for punishment. He lives in Boston,
I
but is a
know.
Leafs
He's-
fan.
oh,
Like
God.
that's like
Well, I
you can't
moved here,
escape.
Zachary.
It's
Dude,
like,
that-
it's like being exiled to Siberia. He's like,
Honestly, this is like that thing from Spider-Man. Everywhere I go,
I see his face.
everywhere I go, I see his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Boston
Exactly.
in 7. Can you even wear
he walks
a
around-
Leafs jersey in downtown Boston?
Oh, I've done it before.
Yeah,
Well,
please
yes, they-
share. Please share.
They probably don't hate it. They probably just laugh at you.
I wish I had my fucking phone on. But that was interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like every time you walk around and you see a Bruins jersey on the back, it just says Game 7, and you're just like, oh no, oh no.
Here we go again.
I've not seen one of those yet.
All right, well then you're lucky because I know Boston fans to be savage.
No, in fact, I've gotten beer. I've gotten several cups of alcohol to drink my fucking sorrows away.
I respect that then for Boston fans. Then shout out to all you classy fans. I would roast a guy like that too. That's like one of the biggest insults you can have. Here's a drink on me because your depression is too much.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that's too good.
horrible
You guys
memories.
watched the Lions game tonight against the Stampeders? What a fucking performance
What
by the
the
BC's
fuck?
fucking defense, man. And you
What
said don't bet the
the
Lions. You said don't bet the Lions last night, and I did. I bet the Lions. I made bank tonight. So fuck you, Carter, because if I listened to you, I'd be out so much money. But I trusted the gut. I went with it. I was right.
You
I
poor
knew the Lions would
poverty,
come
you
out.
thought-
Rookie and injured QB and a rookie kicker
Dude,
against
rookie-
Bo Levi Mitchell.
Rookie. Fucking Mike Riley threw for 348 yards tonight in a
That's
full
what you said,
complete game,
injured.
man.
And I in my review said that if Riley was healthy, he probably would be doing really great. And sure enough, he showed up healthy. And what happened? There
Maybe
we
the
go.
Lions will surprise
Were you
everybody.
right on it?
I didn't think he was going to be ready. That's why I
Also,
said
okay,
Calgary.
we gotta ask the question because all of us are actually CFL fans, so I can ask it. Do you guys think Bo Levi Mitchell is gonna be on the decline? He's looked shit the last 2 games to start this season. I know it's been a
If he
big amount of
doesn't
time off,
figure it-
but look at the
if-
guys that are better.
If he doesn't figure it out next game, Calgary's in big trouble.
I agree.
Yeah,
They haven't
Calgary's
been 0-2
looked
in
like
a
shit
long
this season.
time.
Because look at Calgary's looked like absolute shit this season.
They have.
Hell, look at week
Oh,
1
brutal.
against my Argonauts. They looked like fucking shit.
That did not look like a Bo Levi Mitchell from even last. I would gonna say last year, but it's been a lot longer than that. But nonetheless, he doesn't look like the same guy
Last
from the last
season.
time the CFL was playing. It's
But also as well, you got to take into account the the COVID shortened season. So
for sure. I definitely take that into consideration. But
Yeah.
comparing to some of the other guys and their starts, considered what the problems they've had in the offseason, look at Riley, for example. A guy barely played last week. He played half the game, I think. I think he played the first quarter or the second quarter. I think it was the second quarter. Either way, he was injured in that game still. They said he wasn't at least 70%. That's why he only played half the game. And then he was still able to almost lead an amazing upset win against Saskatchewan and almost come back. And I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that there are guys that I would definitely agree with you. Normally, COVID affected that it happened in the NHL, but he looks more than rushed.
Yeah.
This looks like his plays aren't just, he doesn't have the confidence that he carried himself with the last few seasons in the CFL. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it is what it is, but you gotta take it for
But
what.
anytime Calgary's not doing well, I don't think anybody here is frowning on that.
Honestly, fuck Calgary.
Exactly.
Also, fuck Hamilton.
I don't hate Calgary like you do, but as
No,
long
I
as
can take Calgary because we nearly lost to them in the Grey Cup a few years ago.
See, Calgary's just fucking destroyed the Lions for like my entire life. So they're my riders.
Are they rough?
Oh yeah, you know it, baby. All right, we're just gonna end the podcast on that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out to the PPP. Have a great rest of your
I'm
night.
so ashamed. I'm so ashamed of you.
You should be.
Yes.
Zach is sitting over and he's like, "What the fuck is?"
Dude,
he
I'm the
saying?"
one
Like,
that's
what
not on a
the
Red Bull right
actual
now.
hell?
You're the crackhead usually without any energy, and you got the Red Bull.
And I'm
for your
high.
lanes. Exactly.
Crackhead without any energy. I'm drinking Smirnoffs in like half our clips. You can tell.
Yeah.
Go back and
Smirnoff's
look.
don't have
Oh,
energy.
you're drinking Smirnoff? Oh, buddy, that's
Zach,
not
you're
strong
swinging
enough.
side to side, man.
That's
You're
not
on the
strong
camera
enough.
like that.
Because it's a fucking because it's a fucking skinny chair, you fucks. Absolutely, I will not take this freaking Zach propaganda right here. There'll be none of that bullshit.
Apparently there will be. You're the guy that's the
No,
most.
no. You need to call me this propaganda. That's the true
None of that.
propaganda.
None of that. You get that is number one bull.
So it's
number one bull right
treason
there.
then. It's treason then, Zach. Huh?
It is treason then.
Treason.
And then boom.
So-
And then boom. Three
Zach,
of you are dead right away.
Model lightsaber.
What?
Huh?
Is that a model lightsaber, Jake?
Actually,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It's one I built. Thank you very much. I paid the money.
Oh, you built
shit.
it.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Zach, by the way, I'm still waiting for a one-on-one fight in Chell.
Oh, right. Yeah, me too. What's your team at
The
again?
only good thing to come from the pre.
I don't even on a team. I haven't played online in months.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, we can go right away, actually, then.
Oh, let's go.
We'll go right away. I'll
go.
have my 99 Gretzky, 98 Kaprizov, and 98
Jake, I
again the
don't
line.
even know what we're gonna title this podcast.
We're gonna title it. We're
We're
gonna
gonna title it
record a
Dumb
clock.
Flex Recording
That's what we're
Late
gonna
at
clock.
Night.
We're gonna call it record a clock, ladies and gentlemen. This is going your channel. That's the perfect brand for you. But anyways, I want
That
to talk
is pretty
sports.
bad.
This is a sports podcast. Let's get to some sports. We're a
Right,
guy
right.
that knows a lot about sports over here. So what are we gonna talk about? I don't know. Carter, you take it from here. I don't know.
Well, I figured because we have a guest here who's a Leafs fan. Tanner, tell me what you think
Should
about
we
the
just
Leafs
boo him for
offseason
45
moves.
minutes?
Well, I'll say I don't know what the fuck the Wiz was thinking when losing Frederick Anderson and David Riddick, but I mean Peter Mrazek, he's good when he's in form, but not exactly the most reliable guy. But he needs to be. Well, I'll say this though, he needs to be fucking healthy. If he wants to be the top guy in Toronto, he's got to be fucking healthy.
Hopefully, he doesn't get ran over in Toronto again.
Well, I want to ask you this then, as a Leafs fan, do you see Mrazek being the clear-cut guy to come in and become the starter potentially, or do you not have much faith in Campbell?
No, because after the season Campbell had, no,
Exactly,
like
right?
there's
Yeah.
gotta be some sort of competition
So
there.
I see a lot of Leafs fans having this argument on Twitter about Mrazek, about we should have brought in better goaltending, blah blah blah.
You
blah,
look at the
and it's like, if Mrazek's
look
your
at
backup
Twitter.
for
That
you.
place is such a fucking cesspool.
Well, it's just interesting to see the types of opinions that people have on there because, like you said, it is a cesspool of garbage, and sometimes the garbage is actually interesting to see how many people believe it. And that is why I think it's funny to see a lot of Leafs fans talking about this battle that there will be in the crease between Campbell and between Mrazek, and I don't see it. Mrazek, even if he's not in his complete form, is much better suited in today's day and age as a split tandem goaltender with another guy like Campbell, and I think that makes the
As
perfect
like a
sense.
B-
I don't think you need
a
to
B goalie.
force this narrative.
That's Mrazek's whole career, though.
Exactly.
His whole career has been
Even with
defined by
like starting
talent.
back in Detroit, him and
Right.
Howard, it was
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
like constant 1A, 1B.
Especially near Dwight Howard when he struggled in those few years when Detroit was still that, we're holding on to the legacy type thing.
The streak is still within our grasp.
It always will
Okay.
be.
Actually, that reminds me, too, because you are a Leafs fan. There have been reports about this Amazon Prime thing. Talking about this little thing about... And I love how it's titled All or Nothing.
All
For
or
something
nothing,
that we
yeah.
know
What?
is ends up... Did you not hear with this?
No, I didn't.
Amazon Prime is making a mini docu-series
No,
on the 2021 Toronto Maple Leafs.
Called All or Nothing.
And spoiler alert, it's going to be nothing. And
Shit,
there's like a
we
trailer
know.
out. and like Dubas is swearing
How
in
did I not
it.
see this?
You got
I
the-
love
I
Amazon
know.
Prime. I'm getting a 10-year.
Dude,
membership
just
to that
stream
company.
it. I mean, no, don't. I
Amazon
don't stream.
Prime is getting your money.
We don't
They
stream
already get my money
illegally.
anyway, but I'll.
We are, yeah, we have Amazon Prime. I don't even.
Yeah.
God damn you, Bezos. But what do you think about that?
I love it.
I already know what's gonna happen.
Run
It's gonna be
salt in
some
the
screwed up bullshit with management, trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. To oh my god, we're actually trying to do things. Let's train for older guys that or players that don't even fucking matter in the NHL because
Nick
they suck ass.
Foligno
Let's fight a guy after an accidental collision
Brown.
in the
for the code.
for the code of honor. He accidentally
code of
clipped my
honor.
player in the head and feels terrible about it because he's actually friends with him in real life. But no, I
I'm
will
gonna
fight.
break your face.
Yeah, here's your code of
Seal
honor
of
for you.
approval.
Here's your code of honor for you
Fuck
right
Foligno
there.
for that move.
Yeah.
I don't care what he says about him being a classy, nice guy. He gets a straight fuck you for that one. You do
You're
not do that. in
you've
any
eaten
form of
your
hockey.
last
Honestly,
toss, sir.
I need to go and check Don Cherry's Grapevine podcast. I can't wait to see what he said on that. Because
right. Good fucking
guarantee you,
move.
this is a great move. This
This
is real
is-
sticking up for your teammates.
You don't know how it is. There's a good old time hockey
You see
play.
that? Ron, you see that? Ron, you see that? Oh,
You
Ron's
see
not
that,
here
man?
anymore.
Nick Foligno and
John Tavares.
great move by Nick Foligno. Like,
Watching him try to say Yarmir Yager is such a stretch.
Jagger.
There's like
Mick
Yager,
Jagger was on the
Yager,
ice
yo,
later on.
sure, Yager. Like, oh,
Mick
God.
Jagger has entered the building.
I honestly would pay money to see that man take a tour of Europe.
I remember I was watching a thing of him talking about the Jets, and he said, and they had goaltender Laurent Bosson in that. I was like,
Croissant?
it was
Divine
too
reference
French.
for you.
Way too francophone.
Oh my god. What the fuck
Oh.
is this episode? What are we gonna talk about? Like, genuinely. I started off with CFL, and now here the fuck we are about some random conversation about Don Cherry and his podcast that gets no one listens to because he's a racist bigot, and he's probably losing his mind every year. I love Don
Yep.
Cherry. I was just joking about that. Everyone, don't cancel me.
That's how it is when you get older. You get more senile.
Hey,
Exactly.
10 years from now, someone's gonna like beat the shit out of you for that.
How
comment.
dare you insult an 85-year-old man who probably doesn't remember what he says anymore and what century he lives in? I can't do that Hurricanes voice that Tree would do, but that's what I was going for.
Oh my god.
Please come to our game.
What's it called? No, what's it called? You'll have to watch my podcast video that I did with Tree last week. Oh my
Did
god.
he do it? I should have asked him to do that.
I was like, no, we didn't ask him to do it.
For 3
No,
hours.
what's it called?
Yeah.
We didn't ask him to do it. We fucking imitated it, and he was cringing hard as fuck.
Oh, I bet he would.
I feel like that's his real life a lot though. Like I feel like, and I mean this in the nicest way. I feel like he has to hear a lot of people imitate his voice now. Because when you have a channel
Sure.
that doesn't even show your face
It's
unless
solely
you're doing
based on your voice.
unless he's
Yeah.
doing advertisements where he's like, look at this Pens fan, look at this Simple fan, doing that, like,
products.
yeah,
That would be 5 points fits.
Raycon.
Ray, yes,
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Raycon. Come sponsor the
Clippers
Fake DP.
guy.
baby.
yeah.
I'll
Please
use your
come
headphones.
to our vids.
David, why haven't I tried that approach? Fuck.
These are like our last two brain cells, honestly.
Exactly.
Like this is.
This is what happens when you're waiting for the Bad Batch to come out, and Carter reminds me we have a podcast today, and I schedule it.
Shout out
way
to the
too late
video
at
that's
night.
already dropped by now of Bad Batch finale. It was great, I think.
Yeah,
no,
Darth Vader
that
showed up
drops
and he
in an
slaughtered an entire
yeah,
resistance.
Carter, shut up! This comes out after that video.
Oh, yeah.
Guys,
It was great.
I read the leaked script. Darth Vader's gonna show up after Rex comes in with a rebellion of clones, and they're gonna do a
Oh, we're
Camino
getting another
rebellion.
hallway
But Darth
scene.
Vader's gonna slaughter them all, and it's gonna be very depressing because it's like Anakin killing his brothers, and then
And then they're gonna
That's it.
retcon the sequels from there, and then we're all good. And then Mike Zero's gonna tell us how we're all saved, and then nothing's
we
bad's
forget
gonna
that there's
happen.
one. We forget that. You guys are forgetting the most important detail about the leaked script. It pans to the water. The sunken remains of Camino are sinking to the bottom, and you see
Yes.
the real Sith Lord swimming in the rubble. The guy who can
Jar
breathe underwater.
Jar!
Yes, you know it.
Jar Jar!
Misa said,
Lord.
fuck you.
Lamasu.
You're not the Lord of the Sith. Me's the Lord of the Sith. You so gonna die.
Oh,
Imagine if that's
You know what it's gonna be?
the
Zach, you know what
last
it's gonna be?
words before we fade to black. You so
Zach, you know
gonna
what it's gonna be?
die.
You know
I
what
like
it's gonna
that.
be? The Sith Lord's gonna be the blue shadow virus. It's gonna be
The
that,
blue
dude.
shadow virus.
Yes, the blue shell virus, the next variant of COVID-19.
I think we
Dr.
should probably,
Delta
Vigo!
variant 2, ladies and gentlemen. Delta variant 2.
probably get back to hockey.
What are we going to talk about? Okay, let's talk. Okay, first thing that comes to your mind for hockey, let's get this conversation train going. I'm going to throw it over to Zach.
Yes.
First thought that
Well,
comes to mind for hockey. If you were even listening,
buddy,
you fucking
yes.
jackass.
I was hockey. Fuck you. Hockey. Stick. Shut up. Well, sorry, wasn't ready for this one, Lats. Let's just pull up NHL discussion because that's always a good fun for casual. For the rest to go who needs notes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
welcome to the Prairie
No,
podcast. If you haven't already,
no.
drop a follow.
No,
This doesn't happen very often, so you're all in for a treat.
I'm
Vince
telling you,
Dunn, pretty
boy,
old.
boy,
Oh, Carter Hart got paid. Don't know why. Oh,
boy,
no.
fucking, I'm too high for this
Wait.
shit.
Okay, so there's like a couple more recent signings, honestly, because let's be fair here, Leafs didn't really do much this offseason. Like, they didn't do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of any marquee signs, they really didn't do jack shit.
Nope, they did nothing.
Well, like, I think
they just
Michael
lost
Bunting.
talent.
I think Michael Bunting's a great pickup, honestly. I
Bunting,
think he's a
yeah,
great pickup.
I mean, I like Bunting, but I haven't seen much of him, to really give him much of
He
a
looks-
formal opinion.
Jared
He was
McCann
very
was a
good
great
actually
pickup.
last
Jared
year with
McCann
Arizona.
was a
He
very
just-
good pickup.
Yes.
He,
And then we lost him about, a couple days later to
I
Seattle.
literally think it was less than 24 hours later. You
I
lost
have
him.
never seen people
Yeah,
so
really.
mad about a guy who never played for their team.
With good reason. Jared McCann was underappreciated when he was a Canuck. I always liked him. Then he was dealt for Eric fucking Goodbranson in that deal way back when. Yes. Yes.
Hi, Jim Benning.
In that whole fucking mishap. And then on top of that, he's been really pretty solid everywhere. Really underrated. Goes to Pittsburgh, has some really good good seasons, and then fucking gets to the Leafs. You imagine how good he could have been on the Leafs? Like, the potential
Oh my
is
God.
so
Okay.
there for him to be
The
really
thing
good.
is, though, I
They
would
never
have
will even get that opportunity now. And you give up assets for him.
I would have been completely fucking fine if Seattle took Kerfoot and we kept McCann.
I think
would've been
most
so
Leaf
fucking
fans
fine
would have.
with it.
Honestly, Kerfoot is not as good as McCann right now. And if you guys are trying to win now, which obviously should be the Leafs' mode right now, you got to do that. Great. Technical difficulties on my end. Typical. Ladies and gentlemen, just stand by. I hope you can.
Deadline.
Me. Oh, there we go.
We said at the deadline that we thought Kerfoot would get traded.
Yeah.
We thought in free agency Kerfoot would get traded.
What's happening? Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. They can probably hear me. I don't know.
That's okay,
We can
honestly.
hear you.
We
We
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
Oh,
We just
you
can't
can.
see you. I'm getting a
We just don't
loading
get to see that lovely face here,
Okay,
so we're
I
probably
don't-
just gonna be staring at like his like
You can't-
emoji, which is like an orange sus sign. So that'll be an
You know
interesting.
what? I could turn off the camera and we just got Bugs Bunny down there, and I'll just move the logos real quick.
Honestly, I just feel
looks
like
like you see some shit.
it's just the logo. Oh yeah, of course. That Bugs Bunny watched the series against Montreal. I'll tell
Oh,
you
it
that.
did. It did, my friend. It
That
did.
Bugs Bunny lived in the bar and he never left.
That Bugs Bunny is never changing, just because that's how I
So-
felt for so long.
No, honestly, I love that. I love that. I love going and being
great.
like,
It really
"Hey, how's
is.
how's my friend Jake doing today?" Oh, drunk Bugs
Oh.
Bunny.
One thing I just thought of, with there's a few more things coming out today about Evander Kane. Two things that came out that I saw. One of them was specific parts of the management saying that if Kane returns, that they will quit and resign.
What?
Threats from them.
I didn't see that.
Yep. I saw
Yeah.
that. Yep. Puck Empire. Several key Sharks players have informed the management and parts of the management if Evander Kane is part of the team going forward, they don't want to be. So there's that, and then there's also his wife posted on her Instagram, or ex-wife. I'm not sure if the divorce.
Well,
has
soon to
happened
be
yet,
ex-wife.
officially, saying that the debt is not 27 million; it's actually 50 million.
My video is aging like goddamn fucking wine, and I love
Wow.
it. I love it.
Is
I
it bad
love
that I
it.
kind of feel bad for the guy in a way?
No.
Fuck
Well,
him.
yes, it
Fuck
is.
him.
But he
It
just
is.
had his career year. He seemed to be getting his life on track. There was no bad news about him.
No,
for the
he
entire-
wasn't. We just didn't know it. He never had his life on track.
Okay, but
it's
it
just
looked
that
like
it's
it.
all coming out now.
Which
It is
sucks.
the facade.
Why it sucks? Because it seemed like the guy was
And he
making
was
the
a
right
young-
choices.
This is the facade of your life getting better. When he gets paid more, he loses more money.
Well, that sounds like that's also sad. I know people that suffer from gambling addiction, and it's no joke, especially when
It
you're a
is.
multi-millionaire. The guy had his
It
best
is.
career year, and now he's probably going to get banned from the NHL. You don't think that's sad at all? I know he's not.
I-
He doesn't have a great
think
track
it-
record. I know that,
I
but
would
it's
think
still
it's
sad to
sad
see as the
because
hockey
I don't think
standpoint.
he'll ever recover from
There
what
are
he's in
things,
right
there
now.
are elements that are sad, but there are also elements where he really didn't help himself. Like a lot of the allegations that he probably had to pay off in certain things, that doesn't help him.
Yeah, but
Like,
all
those are
I'll
just
say to what Carter said is that if Logan Mailloux can still get drafted after everything, I think Evander Kane will still find a home in the NHL if he's not banned. Some team will pay him. It's the boys' club mentality. There'll be some old white
Not if
GM
you bet on
that sees
Kane.
Yep.
sees the potential.
Unless
I
he's-
still see it. And no, he's
Not
Unless-
even, no.
I mean, unless
If he
that
bet on
NHL
games-
bans him
if he bet on games, he's banned.
bet on
But if
games,
he's not,
he's
if he didn't bet on the games, and he actually, this is just him being an asshole, and he's got all this debt still, and it's worse than we thought. He's not going to get banned for that. He might get his contract voided, but if anything, he'll become a free agent that could sign somewhere. I guarantee you, some team will pay him the minimum because he still had a career year in points. That's
He'll
all I'm
still
saying.
be in, like, what
He'll
even
still be a
happened, though?
yeah, but
He'll still be in debt for $50 million.
yeah, but that's not a team's problem as long as he's putting up goals and helping them win games.
No, it's his problem though, and I don't know how sustainable.
Yeah,
it
the
is.
Sharks winning games. That's real funny, Jake.
Well, yeah,
He'll
the
never
Sharks.
dig up.
Here's the-
I'm not talking
here's
about
the
the
thing.
Sharks. I know they ain't winning games. He had a career year and didn't do fuck all over there to help them do any better. I'll just say
Like,
that. I
is there-
totally agree.
Like, wouldn't you see it like possibly if you
There we go.
like you said he paid. Oh, there he is. There's that beautiful bastard.
No, that's great.
Wouldn't you see like a higher price range possibly for him getting picked up by a team in the KHL if he can't find a high enough price point?
Wasn't it said that he wasn't a fit when he went over there?
It was, but that was like way earlier in his career. That would have been about 9 years ago by
That's
now.
fair.
At this
Oh,
point,
Yeah.
really? It was that long? Jesus.
yeah, it
Well,
was.
look,
It was back in the
change.
Lockwood season.
If teams are willing to, like I said, if Montreal drafts Logan Mailloux, if Tony DeAngelo can get a decent contract
Hey,
after all
Tony
of that shit,
DeAngelo's a fair comparison because he's
Like,
actually a 10-year.
D'Angelo is a more of a fair comparison.
but like
than
I know, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that
And I know
I'm just
what
using
you
that as
mean.
an example of the boys' club in the NHL.
Right.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
a very
their
different
reputations,
situation.
yeah.
I'm not comparing them at all. I'm just
You're
saying that
looking
if
at
a guy
fucking
like that can
boys'
be
club, what the
drafted
boys,
still,
for fuck's
I
sake.
think this guy can get a chance. That's all.
Did you guys see the new stuff coming out about the Blackhawks? Not that I want to talk about it too much.
Yeah,
Yes,
I,
please talk
I
about
actually
it.
have that. I actually have that up.
I
Actually.
did not see it, so please tell me.
Oh God. Let me-
Everyone should be
Zach,
quiet.
you
for
want me
this.
to
I
read
want
this
one
out?
guy to
Because
say. it.
Okay, I'll pull it up. NHL Breakers. Let's go here.
Yeah, I have that up. That's what I have right now. I'll
Just
read
let
it.
him read it. Let him read it.
So, former Blackhawks skill coach Paul Vincent states that Brad Aldrich routinely brought underage interns to the players' locker room after games to drink alcohol. And he also mentions that Aldrich had a 14-year-old boy spend many weekends at his apartment. A family friend. The boy has since developed into a full-time NHL player.
God.
The Blackhawks are going to be fucking canceled to hell and back.
They
It's
should
not
be.
the-
Oh, God.
Well, like
If they're protecting
my
it, look, I don't agree with
God.
cancel
Bowman's
culture.
done, though.
I don't agree with,
Bowman's done.
for sure, but that's the thing. I don't agree with cancel culture. But if the organization has covered that for 10 years, that's on the level. Like, look, all I'm saying is this: is that if the church can protect all those priests and move them around and do all that stuff, and a hockey organization that wins cups in that span and everything that how the success they've had, they've been the darling of the NHL, the first real dynasty we've had in years.
There's a rumor who it is, by the way.
I don't want to know. Actually, I actually want. I do and I don't. Oh, I don't know why I said
I
that.
don't think we should be putting his name
No,
out there.
we
unless
shouldn't say
know
it at
for
all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be mentioned.
I'm not
I
saying
don't know
that.
the name.
I'm not. There's no sources. There's just a couple people that have done a little bit of searching, and the timeline checks out for two people. There's two people.
Yo,
One
get
is
sold
a lot-
out.
Dude, that makes me want to cry. That is so fucked up that an organization can protect
and I'm
that.
gonna look at the
That's
NHL.
not players. That's a child.
I don't think. Yeah, this. I
Yeah,
don't
that's,
think,
that's not to mention it on
I think we should move to another subject.
No, this is
because
an important conversation to have. Now,
Yeah,
we don't
because,
go in depth, but it's important.
Yeah,
let me
because like,
ask you
think of
guys
this though. Like, let me say this.
I don't want to go more in depth about this specific player. I don't know who.
Oh,
it
we're not
was,
going in
but
depth
I
about
don't-
the player. We're talking about the situation
No,
that the
just a scenario,
Blackhawks
don't
defending
worry.
everything.
organization.
Like,
Yes,
think about this.
that.
Because like the Blackhawks have been, like trying to like sweep this under the rug. Like, it's like no big fucking deal at all. There's nothing to see here. We're serious. No, fuck off. There's nothing here. We mean it. Go away. Just stop. There's nothing here. But everyone knows, like, we know what you fucking did. We know
Obvious
what the
at this
fuck
point.
you did.
Yeah.
It's very obvious at this point, all the information that's being brought up. And
There's no way that this is nothing. There's no way.
how does it make you
Not
feel
a
as Jets
chance.
fans with knowing Chevaldayev was a part of that organization at the time? Does it make
Yeah.
you question everything?
I am very, very concerned because if I hear that he was a part of it, I am going to be
I'll be
so
wanting his
on
head.
God. I, as much as he's done a good job as GM, he should be gone if it's found out
They
that he
all
had
should be
anything to do
barred
with
from the
this.
NHL if this is true, and the organization.
Everybody was
literally
involved.
defended
Everybody
it.
that was
Also,
involved was
Bergevin was in that too.
Yes, he was. And look what Bergevin just did. Do you think
And
he cares
also-
about any type of sexual assault type issues? He probably just swipes on the rug. Boys will be boys. By the sounds of it, look what he did with the draft. Not to mention, do you remember what Bowman did at the draft?
Yes.
What he did? If you don't remember, Tanner,
Oh,
Bowman
where he,
at the
like,
draft, the
brought all
pick
the
right after
girls
Montreal,
on
he
stage.
brought out every single female
yeah.
staff employed by the Chicago Blackhawks organization. They made the pick. He's like, we have women. We hire women here. It was a
Lest
forced
we forget,
diversity
there was
thing
only
to
8.
distract people from
No.
everything. It was a
There was like
complete-
only 8.
No, there was a lot. It looked a lot
Everyone
more than
can
8.
see through that. Everyone can see through that bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's such a bad look for the
Everyone
NHL. It makes you look so
Oh
guilty.
my god. No, it was a bad look. Like when fucking Bergevin decided to go dumbass mode and it's like, oh. And basically May was like, okay, look it, I fucked up. Don't draft me. Bergevin's like, hey, fuck you.
Drafting go burn.
You're going to like it.
All the gained public, like I don't, because I feel bad for him in the sense that because he didn't want him to get drafted, that when he then gets drafted, he gets
Yes.
more bad publicity for the stuff that he's already apologized for and this and that, and he's trying to move forward from.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the thing is that
This league
Chicago
is
is trying.
fucked.
Chicago has swept this under the rug, yes, for 10 years, but then. So they try to sweep it under the rug in 2 ways. Number one, by not letting anything come out about it. But then when it does come out, they then try to say like, "Oh, look at us. We've changed. You know, well, look at all the good things we're doing now. Look,
We
we're
won cups.
we're treating them great." Like, no, get the fuck out of here. This is not what we want to see. Like, we know we could see right straight through that bullshit.
There's also
I'm-
a very
I'm willing to vote to get the guillotine out for those who were involved.
I am
right.
too.
That's the thing, and that's the thing that kind of sticks out to me. Usually, when you see things like that, there's 2 ways that people go. They either go denial or they also plan a scapegoat. Chicago's doing 2. I'm not saying Brad Aldrich is innocent in any way, shape, or form, but if you think he's the only one that knew about things, you're 100% in
Bullshit,
denial.
exactly.
Well, beyond that,
Yeah.
now what they've done is they have pretty much made sure that anything that gets out goes to him. Anyone else any other information that gets out there is seen as people coming forward. In some cases, it's not really the fact that they are coming forward. It is that they were enablers who are deciding to talk about it now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying blame every single person that comes out with details. I'm saying there is a point where you knew these details
I don't think we're blaming the
before
people
this
for the
came
details.
out. And no,
Yeah.
I'm just saying prematurely right now. Just like ahead of before anyone counters what I'm saying. I'm just saying that a lot of people that are saying things now, they didn't learn about it yesterday.
Yeah.
They knew about this the entire time. That's fine. He'll set it.
Yeah, it's fine. I can
It
do that.
happens.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
all good.
It happens
The,
all the goddamn time.
I don't know why.
And,
There's nothing I can do to change it. It just
honestly,
happens sometimes.
this-
It's weird.
And honestly, like everyone was giving shit to like the Houston Astros for the stuff that happened. This is
Nothing compared.
What's it called?
This
That-
is
no,
so much
Carter.
worse.
Carter,
This
if I
is
can-
making them
Carter,
look
if I can interject
so
quickly.
small compared to the shit that's happening here.
There's a difference
Carter,
between
Carter,
cheating
Carter,
and
Carter,
being
if I
an
can
absolute
interject quickly.
disgrace.
You guys are going
If I
down
can
a rabbit hole right
quickly,
now. We got to get
This
back
is,
on the
this
real
is something
subject.
similar to the NFL's Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. Because
This is
remember,
exactly what that is.
he basically had about 2 dozen. Basically, and I'll just say this real quick. For those of you that don't know, early in the offseason, Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans basically had about nearly 2 dozen accusations of sexual assault on him.
Yeah. It was
That's
bad.
not great.
It's actually, I think that
Holy
that's
shit.
still being investigated. There might be more at this point.
No, it's less now because I think
Oh,
they're
good.
come out of that in lawsuits.
Well, that's because he's
We're-
either there's evidence that he's paying them out of his pocket outside of court with settlements, or they're dropping evidence because they can't find any.
Most
Yeah.
of the time
We're going to be seeing
paid
some
out of
criminal
court.
charges from the Chicago Blackhawks.
I
For
would,
sure. Actually,
for sure.
Good
Like
God,
you
no,
should.
Some
No,
point.
let me ask you
hold on,
guys
What's
this.
the
Let me ask. I want to ask before we
Yes.
say one thing. I've been waiting on this one for a while. Kind of let you guys
Yep.
spill because it's very interesting. I gotta ask
No,
you guys
it's
this.
like, hold on. It shouldn't even be local level nor state level. Fuck it, this is gonna be federal level
It
shit.
should be, especially if they
What's
were
the
protecting
statute
sex
of
workers.
limitations?
But you know what?
Not
you know
10
what,
years.
though?
It's longer than 10
Let's
years.
let Jake ask his question.
I'm going to ask you guys this because do you think now that it's not just a guy forcing players and prospects with a baseball bat to do horrific things? Do you think that now that the potential that this could spend even farther into rings, into pedophilia rings that are unearthed still to this day, things that go way deeper than just this game of hockey, do you think that now, because of these potential rumors, if they are true, which most likely they are based on everything else we've heard, if that's the case, the NHL has to separate themselves from this as far as possible and cooperate and do whatever they can to expose, because this is something that you cannot come back from. This isn't like before I say this, I'm not defending these at all, but this isn't like a player beating his girlfriend. This isn't like a dog betting ring. This isn't something that's a crime that's horrible, but something that you can recover from as a person with years of types of things. This isn't hell, even look what happened with O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson's out fucking all that stuff that happened there. This is very different. This is children. This is stuff that this is stuff that doesn't happen, and when it does happen, it is huge. It shapes the countries where it happens. Do you think that the NHL will actually,
not a specific person?
exactly?
Like,
do you think
person.
the NHL will actually do something now against the Chicago, cooperate, do more of an investigation, and do something? Because if this breaks and the Chicago Blackhawks, and this is what if they defended and protected this man and everything involved in his interests, that's a crime that is not forgivable. And everyone involved is to go to jail for that. That's children.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't
the problem with I have is mostly is the way that NHL is handling it. The NHL, for example, there's two different NHL handling situations. There's NHL, for example, on Instagram and NHL on Twitter. NHL on Twitter is a little more honest than NHL on Instagram. Because NHL on Twitter will actually say things. NHL on Instagram will just promote things. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just gonna put a scenario out here. It would look completely out of place to see a post about the Chicago Blackhawks on an Instagram feed.
Okay,
it wouldn't look out of place to see it. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I am saying that it is going to feel very surreal if they finally make that step. I'm saying my skepticism. I hope is proven wrong. But I'm also saying at the same time, they haven't positioned themselves in a very good situation. They have vaguely given out details. They've relied on other people to break the news before they could. For them. And they haven't then reinforced that news. They've let it just sit there. Like,
you know, the step
they have not taken a single foot forward in this. They have coasted the entire way.
They've done more than coast. They've covered it up. Do you guys not remember during the Stanley Cup Finals when maybe you didn't see it, Tanner, because you live in America? I don't know if you watched TSN and Sportsnet for the playoffs. Is that what they were showing with all of the Ron McLean interviews and all that stuff? I don't know how that works with.
I'm trying to watch as many as I can.
Either way, I don't know if they show them as much in the States. I have no idea how that works with the Hockey Night in Canada stuff. But either way, Ron McLean did an interview during, I believe, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and not once did anybody bring up that fact at all. They completely coasted over it, and that says only one thing, and that was when it all broke. The NHL asked them not to do it. There's only one other reason why, because Ron McLean, those people have integrity, and with a story like this, and you're sitting with the man that runs the league, and you don't even bring that up, that just smells so off to me. Like,
you know what I think is happening here?
Journalists. This is news.
Do you know exactly what I think is happening with the NHL in Chicago in this case? Gary Bettman is on his knees like a little cheap whore and is sucking Sam Bowman's dick on this.
Probably. With the way that everything works, with how the NHL handles things, they cater to the GMs, they cater to the owners. We've known that. The
only time I've ever
been give them the money.
The only time I've ever been an ounce bit impressed about a situation that anything is handled and anything has been covered publicly for the NHL was watching the draft and having them was after Logan Mayhew was drafted. The panel actually reacted very maturely about it. They clearly laid out the entire situation with Mayhew. They did not shy away. That, in my opinion, was the only time that I've ever seen proper coverage and proper gravity of the situation be covered. Beyond that, it hasn't. And the only reason they had to do it was because the pick was literally broadcasted on national television.
That and like
It was
think
broken
about it, like,
seconds before the
Well,
panel had to talk about it.
that's true.
because think about this too, like when the analysts were talking about the Mayo pick, like you could see like the horror in their expressions, like when they were talking about it, because I was like, really, he did that? What the fuck is he doing?
Exactly, and that's why I come back to what I said about the NHL asking to cover this up, because I have right here Gary Bettman's own comments that he gave on a podcast on the Power Play with Steve Koulas, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. You all know I'm bad with pronunciation. Either way, this is what his exact thoughts were. Where was it? I just had them pulled up. It's so fucking.
It's on NHL Breakers
Here it is.
too.
I was stunned. Surprised wouldn't begin to explain my reactions. He says, I'm a dad of 2 daughters and I have 4 granddaughters. It was horrific. What was done was horrific. He said horrific. The fact that Gary Bettman came out and say that about his family, his own relationships, how he feels about the rights that women have to deal with in this world, and then for them to completely cover all the Chicago stuff up just screams the fact that they know everything is true and they're doing whatever they can to shut it up. That's why I believe everything that comes out in the story, because if the commissioner will make his own personal stance on something like this, which in reality is blown out of proportion, like we said, because the kid wanted to improve himself. He's only 17 years old. He's younger than my sister. He made a mistake, and even though it was a horrible mistake that is not forgiven, you can't forgive him for the mistake he made. You can let him become a better person. You can let him grow. He's only a child, 17 years old. We've all done fucked up shit. And he came out and said that and gave his own opinion on that.
It was 18 when it happened.
I believe he was 17 at the time, wasn't he?
Oh, 18. The girl was 17.
Oh, that makes everything way worse. Wow.
No, because like here's the thing though. In Sweden,
it's in Sweden.
The 15.
I know what it is. I'm just saying that it's not nice that she's younger.
But
That's just more taking advantage of
right.
somebody.
It's still a minor.
Also, I would also. It's also worth saying
we're getting,
that
we're getting away from what I was saying. I wasn't done just yet. I want to direct it back at this. Do you guys think, like, honest opinions on this? Do you really think that the NHL will do anything about this situation with Chicago, or they will do whatever they can to cover it up? Otherwise, even if the news breaks, this goes to court. The NHL will do whatever they can to distance themselves and silence anything that has to do with the actual organization and not the actual perpetrator.
I say yes to both.
The NFL can do it. The NBA can do it. Every other league can separate from the players.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll see it.
Especially with the NHL not getting as much attention as those other leagues.
That's a very good point.
Like, it's like hockey's not as mainstream as like like NBA or NFL. Like, I mean, I feel like as long as Bettman just keeps getting a shit ton of bribery from the Blackhawks, it's like, nothing to see here. Nothing happened at all. Don't worry about it.
For sure,
Because I feel socioeconomics have screwed sports.
It's screwed a lot more than just sports.
A lot. A domino needs to fall is the thing. The entire time this is here's the
other shoes are fucking drop.
Yes, here's the thing. Not a single person has left the Blackhawks organization really since this has started.
Except Kevin Cheveldayoff and Mark
That have
Prairie.
left? No. That's not what I mean. The entire time that we've been talking about this story, how many times do we hear? How many times has the alert been about a certain person fired because of their awareness or their involvement in said situation?
Or someone resigning.
It's not even just they're covering up. It's just they haven't done it.
Because they won't.
It's not even just covering it. It's just you're not doing anything. You're not doing. And to what you say, I will say yes to both those things. I think this will go very far, but at the same time, I think they will cover it up. And whether they cover it up, and here's the sad thing, whether they try to cover it up, it probably it still won't, and they still won't care. Like, let's put it this way: the NHL has pretty much been a toddler refusing to move, and so news has pretty much dragged said toddler, not kicking and screaming, just going like this the whole time through the mud to get this story done. That's how the story's gonna break. And to be honest, the diligence that the people are trying to pressure the NHL, I feel, will make this story continue to break. However, at the same time, I think the NHL will still just do their best to say this is how I can almost guarantee it's going to go. It will. Stan Bowman will be fired at the very end of all this. Yeah. Maybe 2 or 3 people from the Chicago Blackhawks organization will be fired. Stay around that.
And the rest.
There will be a donation to certain organizations that can relate to a survivor story from this situation. There will be a statement on one post of the NHL that the NHL will put about the Chicago Blackhawks, mentioning it. Just one. And then we will move on. Not us, but the NHL will. And that's it.
That's
And
about
they
right.
will not
And
say a
maybe-
single thing, and they will let it get lost in time.
And that's it. And I guarantee you that is exactly how they will handle it. Because the NHL will not go out of their way to promote something unless they can spin it into a term of doing better. For example, the NHL, when the first person came out as being homosexual, they posted about it 5 times in one day.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and that's not
company
a,
does,
that's
though.
that, and yeah. I'm not against the guy. Like honestly, like that's great for him. That's great for him for being totally open, being confident, and being able to be totally open about who he is. But I don't think that he intended for them to then say that we would post about it 5 different times in one day.
Nobody knew it would
Because
happen.
the NHL made it about themselves.
But that's what every
They
Exactly.
didn't make it about the
Exactly.
kid. And this is what they're going to do because they promote things. That is what their entire Instagram is.
Builds their company.
That's what their entire Twitter is. Their Twitter's slightly better because they have the PR NHL, which is completely different. They literally have a different Twitter account to talk about real issues. Imagine how fucked up that is. Imagine if I had 2 Instagram accounts, one to talk about my life, and one to talk about things that I actually give a shit about. Imagine how weird that would be. What is the point of the other one? It's a facade. It's a fucking facade.
You're right. You're not wrong. And like I agree with you everything you're saying, man. And it's just sad because you know why it's sad? And I come back to another example, even though it's much bigger than this, but it's kind of similar because of what we're talking about. Look what happened with the church when all this stuff broke with them. Nothing changed with that, right? It was swept under the rug. It happened. You had a movie that won Best Picture 10 years later or whatever it was, and that's the end of the story. And every other and kids still go with their pastors after hangouts and do all that stuff, and no one blinks an eye because it's just the way the world works. And it's the same thing here with the NHL. Is that, like you said, Zach, it's going to get brushed under the rug. It's not going to be talked about again once all this gets up. Scotty Bowman will lose his job. Maybe some other guys maybe knew about it.
Revisit this video, guys, when it's done. Revisit this video and comment down below, honestly, and this isn't even a fucking plug. Comment down below and see how our comparison compares to what actually happens. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a sad fucking reality. Because, I'm telling you right now, the firings are not because the NHL wanted to. This is why the NHL is doing it, and it's a sad parallel to what they did with the Astros. They fired the people that had name value because those were the fucking scapegoats. Stan Bowman has no way out of this.
He shouldn't.
Stan Bowman's best option is to fucking resign.
Get out of the spotlight.
Because if he doesn't resign, then he will be forced out. And even if he resigns, they'll still think that he was forced out. And the longer you stay there, the more this sits under your roof.
Don't forget, Mr. Bowman's got a plan. That $9.5 million to Seth Jones. There's big picture stuff going on in Chicago, guys. They have
what the fuck? Honestly, it feels like a man just on his way. It feels like a man who's trying to just hold off for a couple years. He's holding on for I guarantee he's gone in a year.
Probably.
And he even makes the year.
I'm gonna say he's gone in about a couple months.
I agree. I don't think he makes the start of the season.
He shouldn't make it to the start of the season.
Also, just to say this, everything else that we've just said in the last 15 minutes aside, the guy gave Seth Jones $9.5 million. That should be enough to lose your job, regardless of any crimes you're indicted in.
An offer
on the worst year of his fucking career.
I know.
They didn't tender an offer to their highest rookie forward.
Yeah, that too. That too. It's like, fuck, whatever they're doing in Chicago, it's not working. The only thing
they
traded
Adam Boquist.
That's the only good thing they've been able to do.
They signed up a Hall of Fame goalie who's in his late 30s.
He still just won the Vezina, Zach.
He did. That being said, there's a reason that there was only one team that traded there.
They just want the contract. That's why teams have the ability to take on $8.5 million.
Yes, but apparently Chicago does.
So Chicago dumped Brett Seabrook, and they were able to take
Chicago
on $5 million in whatever that contract was.
What a move, huh?
Tyler Johnson.
But Tyler Johnson's contract's pretty affordable, just not in the Tampa Bay landscape when you have to pay fucking 7 MVPs.
They're weird. If they fit, here's the thing.
If anything, with the defenseman though, this started with fucking Dallas with the Heiskanen contract.
The Heiskanen, yes, it did. But Yes and no, because
No,
I would
this
argue
started a
that
lot earlier than
Heiskanen,
that. This started with the Drew
Heiskanen
Doughty
deserved
contract.
that.
This
The
is
Drew
Doughty
Doughty's
contract.
patient zero.
Yeah, no, I mean in terms of the
It's-
younger players.
Oh,
like the
younger guys, yeah, for sure. But
Not,
Yes.
Drew Doughty
not
fit that
the-
market.
not the more experienced guys like Doughty or fucking what's his fucking name? Carlson, yeah.
Oh, that's a
I'm
horrible.
talking about the young guns like Makar, Heiskanen.
Those two guys deserve their contracts, though. I
Actually,
think it's
if we're
think
being
those
real,
are
if we're being real, ladies and gentlemen, if we're gonna credit teams and GMs giving massive contracts to players right off their ELCs, we gotta talk about your Leafs because they're the ones that ever
Yeah.
first to do that. in
That's
history.
smart.
They're the
That's
ones
right.
that set that market, set that tone and that pattern about giving all those guys that money.
Yeah, that's one.
That's patient zero. That's
one.
patient
you
zero.
get a million contract. That's a 3.
You know what's funny? I love how out of all those deals that went down, the most hated one was the Nylander contract, and now in comparison, it's probably their best contract that they have on the books.
Yeah. The new
I don't
contract is really good now looking back at it, but the
Hated-
Marner contract is like
The
a
Marner
what the
contract is
fuck?
fucking abysmal. I'm sorry to say that as a Leafs fan, but I'm glad you acknowledged it.
No,
So many people
I
still see
don't
it as
blame you for
value.
saying that. I don't blame you for saying that one. Like, I like the Matthews contract, even though it's a little steep.
But
But
Matthews
it's
is a face
not
of the
overly
league player.
bad.
I don't like Matthews, but he's a face of the league player. You can market that. That's
He's
worth
the
that
face
money.
of the franchise.
Exactly. Marner's not
Unless
worth
your name
that.
is unless your name is John
Did you
Tavares.
see Austin Matthews?
Did you see Austin Matthews score 4 goals in his first game? Did you know that? Did you know he
Yeah,
did that?
I know. Like,
Yes, I did.
Yeah, but like to be fair to Leafs fans, Austin Matthews does live up to his name
Don't
value.
be fair to Leafs fans. I know we have one in here, but Leafs fans are the most
No,
righteous assholes.
no.
Not to you, good
No.
sir, but it's the truth.
No, don't worry. This is it.
What
Shut
did
the
they do?
fuck up.
I said
Shut
they're
the
the most
fuck up, Carter.
self-righteous people, fans on the planet.
Shut up. This
No,
is
no,
this
no,
is-
no. The way it's like this. The way
this is an
it's
insult
like this.
sandwich, you fucks. Hold on.
No, there's two. I put Leafs into two categories. There's the fans that know what the fuck is up with the management and are not the hardcore fucks, and then you got the hardcore cunts.
Yeah, but then you have
So
a lot
which
of
one
also
do you-
fans that are just like, my team is gonna never win, and we're stuck. But then every year they act like they're gonna
Okay,
win, and they all fuck when it starts up.
Category 3, the Depression Alley.
Yeah.
Look at you. See how I've been toward my Leafs. Like you know, I've
Oh,
been very critical
You're
of
a
them.
real fan. You value
Where,
hockey.
where
You,
does
you
the
understand
pancake
how it works.
throwers? Where do the
Trust me, he's
pancake
critical.
throwers go in that Venn
No,
diagram?
you ask Carter. Ask Carter. I've been fucking
Yeah,
critical of them.
He's been pretty critical about the Leafs.
Good. That means you're a real fan who
Look at-
understands the game of
Look,
hockey.
look at I'm not like the fucking hardcore kinds. Alright? Look at I can fucking see through it because the same fucking shit year after year after year after year. It's always in the off season, let's bulk up our fucking whatever it is and not focus on our main needs.
Team
We go
grit.
season, okay, we do well. In the playoffs, it's time to shove the fist up the fucking sphincter.
Okay. That's one way to put it.
This is
quite
what
a-
happens
quite
when
an
this is what happens
analogy.
when you unleash 4 sports fans on the late nights and they just scream into a mic.
So this will be in the explicit
2
volume, everybody.
a.m.,
Every episode's
3
the
a.m.,
explicit one.
2 a.m., 3 a.m. at midnight at the same time.
Yes.
Record clock, motherfucking bitch ass. So, what do you think of the contract? Like, how do you think of the contracts of the guys who just left the Leafs? So obviously, there's Frederik Anderson,
Anderson,
there's Hyman, there's
considering the year
Foligno.
that he had, like, because think about it, Anderson was kind of injured to fuck.
Yeah, he was.
So,
No, he was
Yes.
consistent. We murdered him. We murdered him.
Yeah,
I
I
would
didn't
chat to his pain.
like the Anderson contract to Carolina, but
What did
take
you-
that as you will. Hyman, I mean, why the fuck would you give Hyman 38.5 for 7 years?
Because Zach Hyman's an elite player. Don't you know that? Edmonton knows what they're doing, man. They're not stupid. They
Here's
didn't
the thing,
give
though.
up assets
That
to
kind of
Adam Keith.
here's the
They
thing,
just
though.
signed Darnell Nurse on a
They
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
give up
here's the thing, though.
They didn't
Here's the
trade
thing, though.
Ethan Bear for Warren Fogle.
Yeah,
No.
And
And then
here's the thing,
re-signed
though.
him.
But here's the thing, though, with Hyman.
Lewis for $9.2 million.
But here's the thing with Hyman, though. Hyman's about to go into his 30s. He doesn't really have much more left. I mean, like, he has, like, at most 7 or 8 years left.
He's gonna have to go full time to his gaming thing that he's got going.
Yeah,
or whatever.
He's also a
Gonna go
children's
full-time
author.
to that.
He is also a children's author. Like Zach Hyman, by all intents and purposes, is such a great human being. The problem is
yes.
he's on a shitty team,
Like
and I say that in
Yeah.
past tense and present tense.
no, I
It's a rare occurrence.
No, it's like, look, it's the same shit I see every fucking year. The Leafs trying to, think they're jack shit, and they trying to sign all these players. It's like, come here, and we promise you everything. We promise you a Stanley Cup. The regular season, it goes alright. They make the playoffs.
Dude, I love. Hold on, we gotta talk about that.
Time to shove the fist up the old sphincter of
We gotta talk about that. I'm
every fucking anal.
Okay, Tanner, I think we're good with the analogy.
We gotta talk about the fact that that is how is that actual selling point for an NHL player? Like, I won't play in Winnipeg even though they're a cup contender. They have bad Wi-Fi. But then, the Leafs have failed for 50 years, but I liked them when I was a kid, and I'm gonna be the guy to snap that streak. Like, what the fuck's wrong with these grown men, man? Like, fuck.
One thing I gotta mention.
Wake up.
One thing I gotta mention, actually. Did you guys notice, this is gonna be slightly off topic, but it needs to be mentioned. Did you guys notice that Robin Lehner is doing a Twitter Q&A? Because he was asked which three...
That started on Janssen's podcast, and
then
eventually went into a Twitter Q&A.
Yes, but point remains. He was asked, among players, which are the three least likely places to play? Among players, it went Buffalo, Edmonton, Winnipeg. Then he said afterwards, that is not my personal opinion, that's just what I've heard. Which is like a big fuck you, because 2 out of 3 of those teams made the Stanley Cup playoffs. And most
one
of the
them
teams
he played for.
Yeah.
Okay, no. That being no.
Buffalo's
Buffalo.
Then where we got the Robin Lehner, I'm gonna fucking kill you and your entire family stare.
Yes,
But-
the angry Viking guy.
Terrifying thing.
I asked Tree this question on the podcast because it was asked me by some viewers to ask him about why players, especially in hockey, refuse to sign in small markets, even though they're teams that are much better, that have a better chance of winning, but they go play is for city. And his answer was like city life and all this. And honestly, I don't understand. I grew up in Vancouver. Like that, I grew up in the big city compared to where Winnipeg is, right? Like a lot of people like it's fucking way packed out here. Nothing. No, it's not. But like, you guys still have less than 1 million people. That's a huge skip compared to where I have. I live in like around 5 cities that have a population of 1 million plus in each city.
I know.
And because of that, I just don't understand how, as a guy who's lived in big cities, if I'm a professional fucking hockey player being paid multiple millions of dollars to go and try to win, why the fuck do you care about signing in a place where you can go to a strip club? Like, is your life that pathetic that that's what your life is?
What kind of bullshit is that? I mean, that is a thing that I have heard.
But it's ridiculous.
But
like,
anyway,
people, look at what happened. Look at Evander Kane, for example. The guy grew up in the fucking Vancouver. He's in Richmond, where I'm from. Fucking went to my high school. And then you have a guy now who's a fucking addicted to gambling, had way too much money to get into, and all this stuff, and all these problems, the drugs, the depression, all these things that hit players and how they live. But hey, I'd rather be depressed and spend all my money because I live in New York than compared to having 3 championships and being a respected Hall of Fame player than playing in Edmonton or Winnipeg. It's
city. I love it here.
But it's stupid. Like, how these people, they're just spoiled babies.
One thing I will say is that, and this is one thing that Tree brought up when he was on, he was saying that this is like, when it comes to like players refusing to go places and take a pay cut sort of thing, it's less of an issue in the NBA because like a pay cut is like a McDavid contract.
Oh no, you're only making $12 million. What a damn fucking shame.
That's not, but
$20 million a year.
Look, that's not a great response though to something where you have to think about the fact that.
I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying that's one of the reasons.
All 3 of you right now, you're professional athletes. You're not all stars, but you're solid additions to a team. You're guys that are 50-point guys basically.
Okay, backup goalie. That's me.
Shut up, Zach, for 1 second. Let's go along with it, please. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, are you signing to win try to win a Stanley Cup? And I'm not talking about jumping from team to team, but like actually going to a place where you think you can win, or going to a place because you know that they have a nice city life. And like, I don't get it. Legacy is more important than a couple million.
I didn't want to go to.
I've been to the Hockey Hall. I've been to the Hockey Hall of Fame once. I saw the Stanley Cup there, and you have no idea how much restraint I had to not fucking pick that thing up and lift it up like this.
Because that should be everyone's goal.
Exactly.
Not
I
a
know.
check.
Exactly.
I know.
Like, it's so pathetic. And then you have these guys that have these stories where it's like, oh yeah, my goal is to win a cup, and then they go sign a 3-year contract with fucking like a team like Buffalo, or they go and sign a team like we're talking about a few years ago, right? We're talking about they go and sign a 3-year deal with the Islanders. And I'm not talking about the new Islanders. I'm talking about the failed Islanders that sucked under Garth Snow for 20 years.
The pre-Barry Trotz era
Exactly.
Islanders.
Like it's like, oh really? You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
put this out there. Andrew Ladd was the captain of the Winnipeg Jets, and the Winnipeg Jets offered him more money than the Islanders did, and he refused that contract to go to New York. Look how it played out for him. Thank God he didn't take it, but that's my point. He was the captain. He's still like, New York life is better. I can win a cup with a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 20 years. Like people. I just lose respect for guys that are like that, where they clearly chasing the bag. And if you want to earn your bag, no problem. And but at the same time, if you're gonna just sign with a team that you know isn't gonna win, what's the point on playing sport?
Lest
You
me
know
forget.
what I feel really bad for?
Buffalo.
I feel really bad for the players who are willing to take that pay cut, but then they never get to go there because others around them refuse to do the same.
The Leafs are a prime example of that.
Yep, there's one there. One guy like Mark Scheifele. The jersey I'm wearing right now has one of the most affordable contracts.
You mean the dirty goon that got hit 4-game suspension?
Oh,
Oh, do you mean the war criminal? You mean the warlord of Northwest Manitoba?
the guy who
You
makes Tom
fucking
Wilson
savage.
look like a respectable citizen.
Absolutely.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, he's a butcher in his script.
Yeah, but, like he's on like one of the most affordable contracts in hockey, and I feel bad for him in the sense of this guy. He wants to be here. He is a student of the game more than almost any guy
Blake
can
Wheeler
think
gets
of.
$8.5 million.
Yeah. You know what though? Like
Fuck.
the guys that compare those
I love
contracts,
Winnipeg.
honestly,
That's why I took an $8.5 million contract to stay here and be the
When
captain.
we talk
of a team
about
where a fan
affordable-
base adores me because I don't like the cold, even though I'm from Minnesota.
yeah. Okay. The thing that bugs me is the
And
ones
it's
that
cheap as fuck to live in Winnipeg.
yeah.
Cost
The
of
ones that-
living here is not high.
The ones that I'd say the most are like good signs of like being like actually affordable and taking time out of it. For example, like
Ryan Pellick.
no. I just think he needs a new agent. Sidney Crosby's deal, not bad. He even talks about it. He's like, it all helps when everyone's pulling on the road. That's not bad. No, Nathan motherfucking McKinnon.
Oh,
If I'm
McKinnon's
Nathan
a
McKinnon,
perfect contract.
I'm personally kicking the ass of every motherfucker who signed a contract after them, because none of them did the same thing he did. Kale McCarr said, no, Ryan's
How
good.
much is McKinnon making?
Why is
Just a little bit more than
Landeskog even that
Scheifele. Just a little bit
captain?
more.
Why is Landeskog
He's the
even that
second best player in
captain?
the fucking league.
Yep.
McKinnon should be the captain. Like,
Oh, for
just
sure.
fucking shorten his ass.
I mean,
Justin
Landeskog is just as
Bonham.
good as
Captain.
McKinnon, honestly.
Like,
Who's
like-
your captain?
yeah. There's a reason that Joe Pavelski is remembered as Captain America and not fucking Jumbo Joe as being a good captain for the San Jose Sharks. I'm not saying that, like, Landeskog's a terrible captain, but when you hear the off-ice stories, McKinnon is a leader on and off the ice in every aspect.
Yeah,
Like, did you guys
like-
hear that thing about
Oh my
how much
God.
money he pays for certain things? Like, for dietary stuff, for all of that. Like, he invests all of his money into that stuff.
Yeah, he's
Like, it's
very
a lot.
about it. We're very into
It's
that.
funny though, hearing Zadorov shit talk him kind of like they are gonna fight. They're gonna fight. I
Yeah.
want to see that fight. I want to see that go because they are going like. It feels like Zadorov is just calmly just trying to start shit.
For sure.
I don't know how. I don't know why. Like you moved to Calgary, not fucking like Tampa Bay. Like Jesus.
Or now as it's called Champa Bay.
Oh yeah, Champa Bay. Fucking Champa Bay. Oh.
Avocado tequila.
The winner of the 2 COVID Cups. The Tampa Bay Lightning.
Fuck.
They literally don't win a cup until it's controversial. Was the puck in? It's a COVID season, and then it's a COVID season 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No. 2021 was 18 mil over the cap.
Yeah. Now,
That's
what?
it.
I have one last question because we're getting pretty late, so I think we should probably close it out pretty soon. But I have one last question for Tanner.
God.
Do you think the Tampa Bay Lightning can win 3 in a row?
let's see. After losing Yanni Gord to Seattle, you lose Tyler Johnson to Chicago for probably shitty contract of a player who never
Yes
played again.
or no?
They have a shot, but I don't think it's likely with whatever it is they bring in. I mean, Corey Perry, he could be like a good middle six depth at best, but
Bogosian's back.
Bogosian's back. Yep, we got
The
Bogosian back.
Norris Trophy winner,
Yeah, Bogo Norris.
Bogo Norris.
Bogo Norris.
Jesus Christ.
I'd say they have a shot, but it's going to be a tough road ahead of them.
I got third round or second round exit for them. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm
that's
going out
that's
saying
fair.
first round exit this year.
Ooh.
Are you saying?
Hey, this ain't the
Oh,
least we're
it's gonna
talking
be
about.
Columbus is gonna eliminate them.
There are too many
No,
teams that have
hold on,
improved in that
hold on.
division where
We're-
Tampa hasn't really gotten much better.
Hold on,
That's
hold on.
why
We're
I
not talking
think
the least. We're not talking the Leafs here, Jake. We're talking the
No,
Lightning.
honestly, I want to see the Leafs
I know,
lose to
but I still
Florida.
think that.
I want to see the Leafs lose to Florida in the first round. That's the perfect.
That's
That's the
amazing. End the
perfect way.
streak
Look
and
at,
keep
I'll
one
say
going.
it. If the Leafs can win
You
just
literally lose for
one
last place.
playoff round, just one. I don't give a fuck if we win the cup this year.
You
if
won't.
we win at least one round, I'll be happy. Just one.
You finally feel
Yeah.
that feeling.
He was telling me to break my plunger earlier. I have no fucking remorse.
Somewhere here. Unless, did you grab it, Zach?
You
Yeah,
made
he
it.
has it.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's a plunger.
Yes, all of for $9.99. No, I'm just kidding. You're not on sale. But they might be.
It cost me like $10. What are you talking about?
Yeah, $9.99. You fucking idiot. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I thought you said $2.99. I was like, what the hell?
Holy shit! No. Oh my god! I
What?
value it more than
You
that.
could probably get something at the fucking dollar store, but that's it.
Yeah, but you couldn't get it game used. So.
Game used. This
Merch.
motherfucker.
Merch.
Okay,
Game
buddy.
used.
All right.
With that being said, Carter, take us away.
I think we're pretty good here. We've had like what? How long has this been? Like a little
Over an hour. A
here?
little over an hour.
About an hour, yeah.
So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Tanner, for coming on. Hope to have you on again sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And Zach, I don't know. You're the one who always normally does.
Oh,
the-
yeah, okay.
It's my
Alrighty.
cue now.
Alrighty.
My job.
Let's go. Okay. Let's get it going. Thank you for watching
He's
the
gonna have
last
a
two
hard time
Brain
tomorrow.
Cells Conversate. It has been great fun.
It has.
Don't forget to check us out on Spotify, or if you're already listening to us on Spotify, hello. Yes, you, the viewer, you're doing a great job by listening to us on Spotify. Also, check us out on YouTube, for the double dose.
And Illogical Canadian, Tanner's YouTube as well.
Oh, yeah, you plug them.
There you
Plug
can
up.
find my Urinating Tree podcast special, and next week you'll be seeing the 5-point special, and maybe in the future, maybe a certain Brandon Perna.
There you go.
Ooh, fancy.
Suspicion, intrigue, mystery,
Well,
all
we'll leave it
fun.
on.
What do I know? I'm just illogical.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just an illogical Canadian.
I like that.
Cut him off. We don't give them advertising rights here.
All right.
No, thank you all for
I didn't
watching.
get that paycheck.
We hope
Yeah.
you enjoyed. We really do hope you enjoyed. This is a
Royalty.
this is different. Let's just say that this is a different episode of the PPP. We hope you
This
guys
is
enjoyed it.
relaxed.
Yeah.
It was chilled the fuck out.
All right. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. We all love you very much. Enjoy the rest
You're
of your
watching
day, night, evening,
channel.
whenever you're watching this. As for the boys in the Nolan Rocky podcast would like to say in reverse, good night, good morning, good afternoon.
See, it's